Assalamu alaikum. Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah. Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah. Ashhadu anna Muhammadan Rasulullah. Ashhadu anna Muhammadan Rasulullah. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. إن الحمد لله نحمده ونستعينه ونستغفره ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له له الملك وله الحمد وهو على كل شيء قدير وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله صلى الله عليه وسلم أما بعد. I begin in the name of Allah, most gracious, most merciful. Truly and verily all praise is due to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We praise Him and seek only His help and His forgiveness. We also seek refuge in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala from the evil of our nafs, which is our carnal desires. Verily the nafs, it is inclined to do su. So we seek refuge in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala from that nafs, from being inclined to do that su. We also seek refuge in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala from the sayyati amalina, those deeds and those actions that are not sanctioned by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in the Quran, and those deeds and actions that are not sanctioned by the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam in the Sunnah. Those whom Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wills to be guided to Islam, no one can lead them astray. And those whom Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wills to be misguided off the Sirat al-Mustaqim, no one can guide. We bear witness that there is no God but Allah, the one God who has no partners. And we bear witness that Muhammad ibn Abdullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam is his slave and his messenger, Amma Abad. The Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam said that the best speech, the best hadith, is the speech of Allah, meaning the Quran. And the best guidance is the guidance of Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, meaning the Sunnah. And the worst of all matters are those things that are innovated by the people pertaining to this religion. For all innovation leads to bid'ah, all bid'ah leads to dalala, which is going off the Sirat al-Mustaqim, and all dalala is an nar, which is the fire. So we seek refuge in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala from the fire. We say, Rabbana atina fid dunya hasana, wa fil akhirati hasana, wa qina adhab an-nar. Oh Allah, give us good in this life, hasana, give us good in the life, in the next life, hasana, and save us from the punishment of the fire, Ya Allah. Ameen. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. Again, another day of Yawm al-Jum'ah, a day of reminder, a reminder for the believers, a reminder for the mu'mineen. But barely when we remind, it benefits the believer. If we strive to be of the believers, then we'll be reminded and benefited from any type of reminder. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. And again, with regards to strive to be of the mu'mineen or strive to be of the believers, we have a chapter in the Quran called Surah al-Mu'mineen, is the chapter of the believers. We go to the first 11 ayats in the Quran of this chapter. It gives a description of and the characteristics of the believers. So inshallah, if we strive to be the believers, those who follow whatever Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tells us in the Quran with some type of action. Again, Ibn Mas'ud radiallahu anhu, he said that whenever you hear, oh you who believe, Ya ayyuhalladina amanu, whenever Allah is saying, oh you believe, Allah is addressing the mu'mineen, Allah is addressing those striving to be among the mu'mineen. Allah is addressing the believers or those striving to be the believers, and the believer is the one who follows it with some type of action, right? The Amaanee, right? So we strive to be those who are the Amaanee, those who follow some type of action after we hear some type of commandment from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tells us in Surah al-Mu'mineen, Allah states, A'udhu billahi min ash-shaytanir rajim. Bismillahir rahmanir rahim. Qad aflaha al-mu'minun. Indeed, and very successful will be the believers, those who have iman, those who follow this type of iman with some type of action. الَّذِينَ هُمْ فِي صَلَاتِهِمْ خَاشِعُونَ. Those who in their salat, they have khasha'a. They are in awe, they have fear, right? They're very careful in their salat. They're not of those who are lackadaisical in their salat. They're not of those who are negligent, those who are not guarding of the salat. They are those who are khasha'ah. They have Their eyes are facing the ground. Their eyes are humble. Their thoughts and their awareness, everything is for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala right then and there. They have khasha'ah, for they know that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is grading them in their salat. They know that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is listening to them and watching them with regard to their obedience to the salat. So again, the description of the believer, الَّذِينَ هُمْ فِي صَلَاتِهِمْ خَاشِعُونَ وَالَّذِينَ هُمْ عَلَى النَّقْبِ مُؤْرِضُونَ. And those from lagwi, or those from vain talk or fruitless talk, they turn away from me. This is the description of the believer. They don't stay and listen to vain talk, fruitless talk, foul talk, right? Talk that has no essence, right? As we said, that the Prophet Muhammad said that those who strive to obtain knowledge, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will make the path to paradise easy. When he asked him what is knowledge, Ya Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he said knowledge is knowledge of Allah wa rasuluhu, meaning knowledge of the Quran and knowledge of the Sunnah of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. This is the beneficial knowledge. Although there are other beneficial knowledges, but this is the main beneficial knowledge for our soul and for the hereafter. So Allah describes that the characteristics of the believer, that they do not listen to vain talk. They do not waste their time listening to vain talk. This means gossip. This means slander. This can mean things on TV. This means things on the radio. Whatever is lugby, whatever is vain or fruitless that has no essence, right? The believer, they are the ones who turn away from it. وَالَّذِينَ هُمْ لِلزَّكَاةِ فَاعِلُونَ. And those who with the zakat, they are those who pay the zakat, or they're the doers of the zakat. What does it mean, the zakat? It means they are those who purify their money. Once every year, they purify their monies. They pay what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has told them to pay. Whatever is allotted for them to pay, they pay it. They purify it. The Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, the one who pays the zakat, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will not question them about the rest of their monies. So when you purify your tazkiyah, you purify that money, then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will give you the blessing of spending your money on anything else. Okay, but this is for those who are required to pay it. You have the nisab, you fulfill the requirements of the nisab and so forth and so on, and you pay this prerequisite of the zakat. Again, وَالَّذِينَ هُمْ لِلزَّكَاةِ فَاعِلُونَ وَالَّذِينَ هُمْ لِفُرُوجِهِمْ حَافِظُونَ إِلَّا عَلَى أَزْوَاجِهِمْ أَوْ مَا مَلَكَتْ أَيْمَانُهُمْ فَإِنَّهُمْ غَيْرُ مَلُومِينَ. And those who, with their furuj, those who with their private parts, it says they guard it. So again, another description of those who believe, another description of the mu'mineen, another description of the believers are those who, with their private parts, they guard their private parts, meaning they stay away from zina, they stay away from fornication, they stay away from adultery. Okay, and then we're told that to stay away from these things also means to stay away from the things or the avenues that lead to those things, whether it's the pornography, whether it's the rated R movies that have certain things that will lead you into zina, fornication, or adultery. But then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, except from their wives or their right-hand possessions. So there's no blame on you with regards to your wives or your right-hand possessions. And again, we spoke about this one time, the right-hand possessions. This is pertaining to the time of jihad or the time of war. So it doesn't really apply to us because we're not in jihad, we're not at war. But the right-hand possessions are those that if the Muslim army, they attack the city, they gain victory of the city, then all the women will be right-hand possessions. It'll be divided by those who were participants of that ghazwa. But that's a whole other story. This is the right-hand possession. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says that those who guard their private parts except from their wives and their right-hand possessions, and for them there will be no blame on them. فَمَنِ ابْتَغَىٰ وَرَاءَ ذَٰلِكَ فَأُولَٰئِكَ هُمُ الْعَادُونَ. But whoever seeks beyond that, then they are the transgressors. But those who seek beyond their wives or their right-hand possessions, those who seek to manipulate the ruling of right-hand possessions, those who wish to manipulate boyfriends and girlfriends, then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, you are the transgressors for your transgressions if you transgress over this. وَالَّذِينَ هُمْ لِأَمَانَاتِهِمْ وَعَهْدِهِمْ رَاءُونَ. And they who are to their trust and their promises attentive. meaning they keep their trust, they keep their covenants, right? They keep their oaths. They're attentive to these things. The characteristic of a believer is that when he promises you with something, he keeps his promise. The opposite of the believer is the hypocrite, the one who promises you something, but yet he betrays or deems deceptive or deceptive with his promise. Now, when it says that those who are attentive to the oaths and their covenants, this also means your oath, first and foremost, your oath and covenant to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala with regards to Tauheed, with regards to not committing shirk, not associating partners with him. Then we also have a covenant with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala with regards to establishing Tauheed. We have an oath and a covenant with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala with regards to our wives, with regards to our children, with regards to establishing this deen, with regards to being righteous men, righteous husbands, righteous fathers. This is an Amaanee as well, keeping your oath and your covenant, as well as your oath of brotherhood with regards to your property, your life, your honor, your reputation. These things are sacred with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and these are the things that we must hold and keep sacred, inshallah. Also, Allah describes again another description of the believers, وَالَّذِينَ هُمْ لِأَمَانَاتِهِمْ وَعَهْدِهِمْ رَاءُونَ وَالَّذِينَ هُمْ عَلَى صَلَوَاتِهِمْ يُحَافِظُونَ. So in one verse, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala describes the description of the believers of those who that they are khasha'a in their salat. Now in another description he said they hafaza. They are those who hafidun, those who are hafidat, those who guard their salat. وَالَّذِينَ هُمْ عَلَى صَلَوَاتِهِمْ يُحَافِظُونَ. And those who with the salat, they're of the hafidun, right? Those who guard their prayers. Those who at Fajr time, they're diligent. Those who don't sleep past the Fajr. Those who don't let shaitan piss in the ear. Those when it's time for Dhuhr, they don't let it go all the way to Asr or Asr all the way to Maghrib. They try to be diligent and guarding of their salat. The Prophet Muhammad when asked what's one of the best deeds, he said those who do their prayers on time. Although we have time to do prayer at certain times of the day, but Allah said that the best is at its earliest time. So those who guard their prayer, they're diligent on their time. They're not lackadaisical. They're not lazy with their prayer. They're not, oh, here we go again, right? Because the Prophet said that the thing that the Ibad will be questioned about on the day of judgment, the first thing that you'll be questioned about is your salah. If it's good, the rest of your deeds will be good. If it's bad, then the rest of the deeds will be bad. Inshallah, may Allah bless us with these qualities of mu'mineen, and inshallah we'll continue after break. Inshallah. Ameen. Again, أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. إن الحمد لله وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وأشهد أن محمدا رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم. Again, we're describing some of the description of the mu'mineen in Surah Al-Mu'minun in chapter 23 of the Quran. Allah gives us the description of the mu'mineen. So may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bless us to be of those who hear these characteristics and ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to bless us with these characteristics into our life. Again, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala states, أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. قد أفلح المؤمنون. Indeed, successful will be the believers, those who have iman, those who follow iman with actions, those who are the aminin, those who work righteous deeds. الذين هم في صلاتهم خاشعون. Those who in their salat, they're khasha'a. They're not turning to and fro in their salat. They're attentive in their salat. Okay? They're focused on Allah. They're focused on the deeds. وَالَّذِينَ هُمْ عَلَى اللَّغْوِ مُعْرِضُونَ. And those who from ill speech, vain talk, fruitless things, they turn away from these things. Right? They have discipline about themselves. Right? They have morals and etiquettes about themselves. They don't sit and listen to vain talk, gossip, right? Stuff that has no essence. They don't sit there and watch basketball wives all day. They don't sit there and watch reality shows all day. This is lugwi. This is vain talk. These are fruitless things. وَالَّذِينَ هُمْ لِلزَّكَاةِ فَاعِلُونَ. And those who purify their monies, they pay the poor tax that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has told them to pay. This is a part of iman, that you spend it from your wealth, that which Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given you, and you're giving it to other people that need it. This is part of iman. وَالَّذِينَ هُمْ لِفُرُوجِهِمْ حَافِظُونَ وَالَّذِينَ هُمْ لِفُرُوجِهِمْ حَافِظُونَ. And those who with the furuj, their private parts, they guard their private parts, إِلَّا عَلَىٰ أَزْوَاجِهِمْ, except upon their wives, أَوْ مَا مَلَكَتْ أَيْمَانُهُمْ فَإِنَّهُمْ غَيْرُ مَلُومِينَ. Except from their wives and their right hand possessions, for indeed they will not be blamed for this. فَمَنِ ابْتَغَىٰ وَرَاءَ ذَٰلِكَ فَأُولَٰئِكَ هُمُ الْعَادُونَ. But whoever seeks beyond that, then these are the transgressors. وَالَّذِينَ هُمْ لِأَمَانَاتِهِمْ وَعَهْدِهِمْ رَاعُونَ. And those who, to their trust and their promises, they are attentive. They hold fast to their oaths, their amanas, their covenants, whether it's with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, or whether it's with their believers, or whether it's with their wives. They hold fast to their covenant. They hold fast to their allegiance, their pledges, and whatnot. وَالَّذِينَ هُمْ عَلَىٰ صَلَوَاتِهِمْ يُحَافِظُونَ. And those who guard strictly their prayers, their fajr, their isha, their asr, right? They're looking at the sun. They're always watching the time. Those who are guardians of their prayers, because if it's good, the rest of the prayers will be good. Then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He describes what happens to these people. أُولَٰئِكَ هُمُ الْوَارِثُونَ الَّذِينَ يَرِثُونَ الْفِرْدَوْسَ هُمْ فِيهَا خَالِدُونَ. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, and these will be the ones who inherit. They will be the inheritors. Those who inherit the Firdaus. Okay? Now, those who don't know, the Firdaus is the highest part of heaven. The only thing above the Firdaus is the throne of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says that those who have these qualities, right? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said that they will inherit the Firdaus. They will inherit the highest part of the Jannah. This is the greatest achievement. This is Fawzul Nadim. There's nothing greater than this. Because the only thing higher than the Firdaus is the throne of Allah. أُولَٰئِكَ هُمُ الْوَارِثُونَ الَّذِينَ يَرِثُونَ الْفِرْدَوْسَ هُمْ فِيهَا خَالِدُونَ. Then He said, and they will be in there forever. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. Khalidun, the Khalideen. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bless to be those of the Khalideen. Those who will abide in the Jannah forever. Ameen. So again, may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bless us with these qualities. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bless us be one, those who are the mu'mineen. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. May He bless us be of those in the salat who are the khashireen. Inshallah, alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. May He be of those who are the lagwi, who are the mu'rideen. Those who turn away from vain talk. May He be of those who are the zakat, who are the fa'ilin. Those who pay our zakat, purify ourselves. May we be of those who are the furujihim, the hafideen. Those who guard our private parts, those who stay away from the zina, those who stay away from fornication, adultery, those who stay away from the chat lines, those who stay away from the porno and all these other things, right? Except from our wives and our right-hand possessions, there'll be no blame on us. وَمَنْ يَبْتَغَىٰ وَرَاءَ ذَلِكَ فَأُولَٰئِكَ هُمُ الْأَبْرَارُ أُولَٰئِكَ هُمُ الْعَادُونَ. But those beyond this, these are the transgressors. وَالَّذِينَ هُمْ لِأَمَانَاتِهِمْ وَعَهْدِهِمْ رَاعُونَ. May we be of those who keep our trust and our manners, and those who, with the salat, may we have those who are the habideen, those who guard our prayers. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bless us to be of the warithin. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bless us with the firdaus, inshallah. Ameen. Wa la ilaha anta subhanaka inni kuntu min al-alamin. Alhamdulillah rabbil alameen. Again, this is from Surah Al-Mu'minun, chapter 23 of the Quran. There's many qualities that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala describes of the believers. And if we strive to be of those who want to inherit the paradise, inherit the firdaus, those who want to be saved from the hellfire, then inshallah we make dua to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to bless us with these qualities. Those who are of the mu'mineen, those who are the khashi'een and as-salat, okay? Those who pay the zakat, those who turn away from vain talk, right? Those who keep their trust and their promises, those who guard their prayers. And with that, inshallah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will bless us to be of those who inherit what? Inherit the firdaus. And inshallah be of those who are entered into it forever, abada, inshallah. Ameen. Again, any good that I said today, alhamdulillah rabbil alameen, is from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We say alhamdulillah rabbil alameen. Any bad is from our own nas, from shaitan. So I say a'udhu billahi min shaitan rajim. Aqim salat.